I will just quote World Economic Forum has said in their report that Pakistan is the most affordable IT outsourcing country in the world.
Okay.
Right? I'm not saying that. So World Economic Forum is saying that. What is world needing today, right? If world is after predictive and prescriptive type of data, a big data, alternative data, GPS, geofencing, then you need to reinvent yourself, reinvent your workforce to make sure they innovate and they come out of their traditional skill set and learn those things. We have never thought, if it was pre-COVID, I would have never had any person even work from home. Like, forget about 100% workforce. Like, even one day a week would have been like a question mark. Why every week, you know? So that was our mindset. We adopted, we changed. And on the first week when I said, all 2,000 people have been working from home since last 3 months. And we have not seen a major productivity drop. It has been efficient communication. And I was shocked personally. I think ICT industry, what we need to ensure that we also collectively build the ecosystem, right? And we also project and support the skill development and demand generation.
Our guest today is Asif Peer, CEO Systems Ltd. Asif is also a member of Parwaaz's working panel on ICT. Welcome to the platform, Asif.
Thank you, Jawad, for inviting me, and I'm looking forward for a great impact and positive impact on the skill development forum that you are chairing.
Thank you so much. Can we start by asking you for a brief introduction to Systems Ltd?
Yeah, thank you. Systems Ltd is a global system integrator. We have been in business since last 43 years now. We are one of the largest exporter of IT services, including our consulting as well as software services export. So majority of our work comes from our export services, about 80 to 85%.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Asif. You know, the pandemic has had a devastating impact on businesses around the world, and businesses in Pakistan are no exception. What has been the impact of this pandemic on systems businesses specifically, but also for the ICT industry in general?
I think I would say that we are blessed that this industry has not been impacted, and as such, Systems Ltd, our company, has not been impacted that much either, because there were two main reasons. I think number one, people have started thinking in this pandemic that what can be done digitally and what can be done remotely. So to do remote work and to do the digital thing, including like e-commerce was one of the things, and your digitization, your approvals in the workflow that you need to physically sign, how we can avoid. So people have thought about all of this. And I think that changes the game, that where people also realized that if I'm working from home, whether I'm in North America, whether I'm sitting in UAE home or Pakistan or India or any other offshore country, that wherever you are, it doesn't matter, right? So it changes the perception of a lot of companies. And now people are very open, willing to talk about offshoring and outsourcing. And we were lucky enough to get that kind of a growth. On top of that, our government has supported in this very critical time and allowed BPO and contact center industry as an essential industry, and allowed us to work with following the SOP and the health guidelines, of course, but allowed us to work. And I would say that created a positive impact. We went to our customers where every other market was closed and they were struggling. We were able to take up the volume. We were able to take up the work, and that opened their mind. It's not like Pakistan can be only at the back burner. We also can provide the services. And in this crucial time where they were struggling, if you help your customers, sky's the limit. So I think we're blessed that we were able to grow in this time. And I'm positive that most of the companies who I've interacted has not gone down, whether they were like status quo or their business were up. So like saying that, yeah, pandemic, because this is, and you globally, you must have looked at as well, most of the technology companies have excelled in this time. It's most of the, I would say, like big companies, but of course they have excelled in this time and they were able to perform well. And I think that's an opportunity. I would treat this as an opportunity because work from home, at least in our country, in US and Europe, work from home, work once a week, 1 day a week or whatever was norm. But here we had no such thing. So that opened up our mind. And now we are definitely thinking differently than what we were before.
So Asif, given that the industry has not been affected by the pandemic, does that also mean that the industry has been able to protect jobs? And not only that, but is also going to see a growth in new job opportunities within the industry?
I think I have heard very few companies have not protected the job, very few, but most of them, I would say like 90%, no impact. Jobs were not like not gone, and even we are aggressively hiring, right? So we have hired at the leadership level. We recruited chief operating officer, and we have hired many other senior people as well, and junior people. We are hiring aggressively the fresh grad, as you know, in June, the fresh batch comes. So, and there are many other companies who are also hiring aggressively. So I would say the impact, if it has not been on the positive side, I think the companies like us have hired and few companies have laid off. So it's not net, it would be not negative, I would say, if it is not positive. And I think at the second part of your question, yes, we would need more skills for sure. We would need more people, and this industry would need more people as well. So supply is required. I'm assuming this pandemic will not hurt more globally, like it would end somehow this year. So if it prolongs for another 12 months, 18 months, then God knows the demand compression can be on the other way around. But thinking positively, I think we would need resources, in my view. At least whoever is in export business of services, they would definitely have a demand. And if domestic businesses, I would say that if our Digital Pakistan initiatives will be launched this year, then of course you would need supply to do the work. But if it has been delayed for whatever reason, then again, I cannot predict. But I think this is what I think.
But given the export business that you are so heavily involved in, what is your business outlook over the next 12 to 18 months for systems specifically, and also what are you seeing it for the ICT industry in general?
I think I'm very optimistic, and I'm seeing a growth, right? Whatever the growth percentage we have been doing year on year, we are targeting the same or similar, if not less at all. And I would say from export perspective, as I said, whoever is involved in export, I think they all will see the upsurge and they will see the more demand, and IT industry and export should grow, in my view, because there will be more. As I said, people are open now to work remotely, and Pakistan, with the law and enforcement, law and order situation, has improved as compared to what we had 3 years ago, which was the stigma. Still, there is a perception, but I think we are much better than what we used to. What we need to do is project, market, and brand Pakistan, right? And that is the most important thing, because if you market your country well, then we have the talent, we have the skill. And I will just quote World Economic Forum has said in their report that Pakistan is the most affordable IT outsourcing country in the world.
Okay.
right? I'm not saying that. So World Economic Forum is saying that. So now, from affordability perspective, from a skill perspective, from talent perspective, from young generation perspective, from internet penetration perspective, you know all the numbers, internet growth and everything. We are well poised, well placed, and as the guy, an institution like you working on the skill development, if we all work together and develop our workforce, and we will definitely improve our ICT ranking in the world, and that will positively impact. Of course, we need government to support this, do these kind of studies where we know where our markets are, where we know what is our strength, and how do we project it better. Pakistan and digital Pakistan, where is the infrastructure, how we are going to help in ease of doing business if companies want to set it up. Is there are economic zones, IT zones? I think there are a lot to be done, but somebody has to do it. Execution. We all know what we need to do, but we need to start executing effectively. We don't need government help like a hell lot, but of course, I can brand my company at my level, but branding the country, you need a lot more resources, a lot more things. So I think that's, if it happens, I would say everyone will grow.
Yeah. No, this is fantastic, and given the optimistic business outlook that you have for the ICT industry, it also is great news for future employment and jobs. Asif, can you be a little specific in terms of what kind of skills the ICT industry is going to need over the next 12 to 18 months?
I think ICT industry I would divide ICT into two sectors. One is like traditional BPO, contact center, digital marketing type of services, and one is truly professional services, programming and all of testing and all of this. I think what is hot, we all know that, but I will just reiterate. What is hot in the world? It's the data, right? So it's not like just the traditional data reporting or analytics, descriptive reporting. What people needs today is alternate data, big data, machine learning, AI, predictive, prescriptive type of data, which help them in growing their business. That is the key, right? And everyone would need it, regardless whatever type and volume of the business you do. If you don't have the data, you cannot predict and prescribe what you need to do. Yes, you can keep guessing and continue growing, but that is the very essential skill set that would be needed. The second, I think, cloud, right? This every company now with this pandemic, they have forced them to move their own data centers to disaster recovery, BCP, and have in tier 1 data centers and cloud adoption, cloud enablement, DevOps, continuous integration, continuous development, and all of these things are very, very important skill set that people would need, because now you need to move from on-prem to cloud. So it doesn't mean that just an infrastructure as a service, but of course, how you are going to do lift and shift and modernize your current application that it can scale for the future. So that is very important skill set that globally would be needed. And there will be a lot of opportunities. And the third is digital transformation. And digital transformation is not a small word. It comprises of many business applications where how you are doing your ERP, how you are doing your CRM, customer interaction, customer loyalty, personalization, marketing campaigns. So, and your e-commerce journeys, your user experience is the key, where people are not like now going to just say that I need an e-commerce site, but they will force you to do ideation. They will force you to do service design. They will force you to do design strategist, and that why and how my user experience and customer experience and customer journey would look like. So the entire digital transformation, where you think about your all processes, you think about how to integrate with all your subsystems or your partners or your business entities or whatever, your government entities. So I think these are the key skills that people need to develop. And if they want to excel in their career. And this is what we need today, because if we work on a cutting edge technologies, where the supply is scarce, people will come and take your skill set at a premium, or if not premium, at least you will have a business, right? So we need business. So if you just have traditional technologies, like, say for example, just I'm a Java developer only, or I'm a .NET developer. Yes, that's fine. But what else? Are you a full stack developer?
Yeah.
Or if you are a Java developer, do you know how to integrate things? And so on and so forth. I'm just saying that. So it's essential skill set, and the cutting edge skill set is what we need, because we need to compete with the countries where they have hundreds of thousands of people. So if we just go with the traditional skill set, we might not be able to win the business, right? So we need to go extra mile in our country to make sure that we have some competitive edge in terms of pricing, in terms of costing, and in terms of skill set and the quality as well. And also testing and automated testing and all of these skill set will be very, very important. As I said, DevOps and all of these things.
Yeah. Now, Asif, talking about the learning and development needs of either your own workforce or the new talent that's coming into the market, do you think there is going to be a permanent shift towards online learning platforms, given that on-site learning is restricted and because of the pandemic? And also the online learning platforms have opened the world to the learners. So do you think that, given that the pandemic has started that trend across companies, do you think that is going to become a permanent feature of learning and development strategy of the companies?
I think it's pre-pandemic, this was essential as well. Like your in-house, like say for example, like we have offices in multiple cities, right? Mm-hmm. So for our internal trainings, instructor is at one site and all other sites are remotely connected. This is also a type of an online learning, right? So online learning was there, and there are courses, certifications, like principals offer, like if we are Microsoft partner, IBM partner, Salesforce, they all have the online content, online certifications, exams, and all of these things. So it was pivotal before. Yes, you are right. With the pandemic situation, whoever was not using, they've been forced to use. Yep. And they think that it is unavoidable right now, right? So yes, it will continue. So if, say, for example, pre-COVID, it was X percentage, it will definitely be more than X. But having said that, once things are opened up, there is no replacement of on-site learning and training as well, events and so on and so forth. All these things will go back, if not at 100% where they were, but at least at a good portion, because I think interaction, in my personal view, when you go to events, you meet with people, you learn a lot, you interact. So it cannot be 100% replaced. Yeah. And that's my belief here.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. The pandemic has also necessitated the need for the businesses to innovate and innovate really fast to ensure business continuity. Any three such innovations that come to your mind that your business had to do and are now going to become a permanent feature of your business and operating model?
Yeah, I think what we have done is when things shaped, like when the pandemic happened, all of the business must have re-strategized, and this is what we also have done. So innovation is always a building block when you are in IT industry. Yeah. And innovation has a very big thing, and you can just break it down. Like innovation means like you come up with a bright idea and you just work on that idea, you create a startup and incubate and run with it, right? But innovation has one more angle as well, like where you see that there is an opportunity in certain verticals if you're working, and you can solve the specific business problem by having a business solution, then you do it that way. And that is also a type of innovation, which you said that to your customer. This is, I'm done for X customer. Now I can repeat that to n number of customers because I have the solutions. And the third type of innovation is that you enhance, as I said, what is world needing today, right? If world is after predictive and prescriptive type of data, a big data, alternative data, GPS, geofencing, then you need to reinvent yourself, reinvent your workforce to make sure they innovate and they come out of their traditional skill set and learn those things. So I think if companies work on these three things, we have worked on all of three. We have created solutions, and this was our permanent feature, nothing new, but it enforced us to do it faster, right? Because, like as I said to you earlier, work from home was not a norm here at all. We have never thought, if it was pre-COVID, I would have never had any person even work from home. Like, forget about 100% workforce. Like, even one day a week would have been like a question mark. Why every week, you know? So that was our mindset. We adopted, we changed. And on the first week, when I said all 2,000 people have been working from home since last 3 months, and we have not seen a major productivity drop. It has been efficient communication, and I was shocked personally. And what it will do to our industry, diversity and inclusion, because now you can employ working women as well. You can, whoever was forced to stay at home, now they can work from home. Whoever was forced to cannot work 8 hours a day, we can offer them part-time as well. Okay, do work for, if you have a talent, you work 4 hours a day if you want to do it. Of course, your salary and will be adjusted, but this is how the things have transformed. And I think we now have made this as a policy of hiring. That are you going to join as a work from home type of a candidate, or you are willing to join as a, even after pandemic. So we are giving an option. And if you are a working woman, instead of a daycare facility and all of these things, like building and all these infrastructure, if you want to work, now we have the work, right? Whether it's 4 hours, 8 hours, 6 hours, you choose. And of course, your compensation will be accordingly, but now it gives me more talent, more accessibility, and it will definitely improve diversity and inclusion.
For sure, absolutely. Asif, you also mentioned in the beginning that in order to unlock the true potential of opportunities for the youth, the ICT industry doesn't really need a lot of support from the government. But what can ICT industry collectively do to make sure that we can unlock more and more opportunities, whether that is self-employment or whether this is formal employment opportunities within the ICT industry?
I think I said that we don't need much from government, but of course, as I said, for branding, studies, and also skill development of relevant skill development and education as what is needed from the fresh grads and what is needed from diploma holders, what is needed to have more contact center skill set to train them accent in English. So if government has that kind of a funding which can train the masses, and the important thing is government launch their digital initiatives in full swing, because what I truly believe in our industry, if you can do these courses, I think it's not effective that much. On-job training and exposure is must, because if I don't play a domestic cricket, I cannot be like international superstar. So you can just one day you just do a course for one AI course, and now you say that I am an AI champion and I can just do work on any project in the world. It's not going to happen. We have to be realistic. We need to spend our money wisely, and we need to train our people. We need to definitely spend time on skill development, and government has the funding. They should do that. aligned with the industry, what industry needs, and launch these initiatives so we can use that talent. Otherwise, if I don't have the demand, you can keep training 10,000 AI graduates. Where would I use them?
Sure.
Where? And I cannot sell it to any company in US. Yeah, these guys have done 6 months course in AI. They are the brilliant people and you can hire them and pay us like X dollars an hour. It's not going to happen. It's just fictitious, right? So we need to come to reality and train appropriately. So that's one. So the next is, next part of this from a skill development perspective, from ICT industry collaboration perspective, I think ICT industry, what we need to ensure that we also collectively build the ecosystem, right? And we also project and support the skill development and demand generation. And I think that demand generation is the key. Right now, there are many institutions like saying that we're going to host an event and so on and so forth. So if industry focuses their mindset on certain markets and focus on certain skill set, demand generation will happen, right? So building the ecosystem is the key. It's not you are developing the resources for systems, right? You're developing the resources for, and also important thing is that it's not just all other countries have not just grow in IT sector. It's a contact center, as I said, digital marketing, BPO. You have to give an employment to all other people as well, because otherwise you would just stick to one skill set, AI, and that's about it. No, that will never give us a volume and a scale. We need volume and a scale to grow.
Yeah. No, that's very, very useful. Our youth, which is living in very uncertain and despondent times because they are graduating from colleges, from universities, they are looking to enter the job market, and yet the job market is going through once in a century experience where by and large the jobs are being destroyed. What is the one positive message that you want to leave the youth with that helps to build their confidence and lift their hopes?
Okay, I would say that whatever profession you are, whether ICT or engineering or whatever, business as usual is not good enough anymore. It's dead. Okay, so whatever you do, you have to excel, because working remotely, working from home, and living in this pandemic world, your ordinary skill set, what you knew to yesterday, is not going to be as effective as the world is changing. So you need to make sure that you are expert in what you do, and also you are ready and willing to learn alternative technologies as well. So you should not be in the fixed mindset where you say that I know this technology and I want to build my career in this technology only. No. Now flexibility, agility, and growth mindset, everyone needs to tweak that. And if they tweak that, I think they will do well, because trends, now Google is telling you what is the trend. Don't listen to me, but you know what skill set is in demand. Yeah. So if you say that I will work against the demand, no, you have to have multiple skill sets and willing to learn, ready to adopt, and being agile. And just if you have a mindset of working 8 hours a day, it's not good enough. Business as usual is not good enough.
Yes. Asif, thank you so much for taking the time and speaking to us. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.